If you're a woman like me over 40 and feel like no matter what you do, your weight will not budge, there are three main reasons that this could be happening. And until you figure out which one applies to you, you could potentially just keep spinning your wheels. I'm Andrea, and today I'm walking you through how to identify what's actually blocking your weight loss progress and what to do about it. Because a solution for somebody who's been yo-yo dieting and restricting food for years is completely different from the solution from someone who's never tracked food or cared about tracking food at all in their life. So let's figure out which one you are. And this is episode 4 of the After 40 Body Reset, which is a 6-episode mini-series where we talk about leveling up your fitness and nutrition after 40. You can watch the entire playlist here or here, wherever it shows. Okay, let me paint the picture. You've been doing what you think you're supposed to be doing in terms of eating healthy and eating clean. You've been active, you're trying, you're showing up. But when you step on the scale or you look in the mirror, nothing has changed. Or even worse, you've gained weight. And you're confused naturally because you're not just sitting around all day doing nothing, like you're actively trying to lose weight. So what gives? Here's what I've learned after working with so many women after 40, but also from my own experiences. There are 3 scenarios that are keeping you from losing weight, and the fix for each one is completely different. So let's figure out which scenario you fall into and what you can do about it. Okay, let's start with scenario 1, the chronic undereater. And this is a woman who has been yo-yo dieting and restricting food for years, maybe even decades. You've done the 1,200 calorie diets, you've skipped meals, you've cut out carbs and entire food groups. You pride yourself in being good and eating less. And at first, for a long time, this has worked. You've seen results, especially when you were in your 20s and maybe even 30s. You'd lose a few pounds, you'd feel lighter, you're not as bloated, but then the weight stopped coming off. So what did you do? You probably ate less. And if you're like me, you would have added more cardio. You got stricter and your body adapted as a result. Because here's what's happening inside your body when you chronically undereat. Your body is so smart. We know that. When you consistently give it less fuel than it needs, it thinks there's a famine. It literally thinks that it's dying. So it slows everything down in order to protect you. Your thyroid input decreases, your body temperature drops. That's why you're probably always cold. You move less without even realizing it, and you feel exhausted because your body is conserving energy. And you probably think it's just getting old, but what it actually is metabolic adaptation. And this is why you feel like you literally have to stop eating entirely in order to lose weight, because your body has downregulated to survive on what you're giving it, which is not that much. You're not eating too much, and that's why you're not losing weight. You are eating too little, and your body has responded by slowing down to match that input. So what do you do if this is you? I know this is probably not what you want to hear if you're in this mindset, but you need to gradually increase your food intake. This is called reverse dieting or metabolic priming. And I know this sounds scary. It's counterintuitive to what we think about weight loss, but it doesn't happen all at once. You don't just jump from 1,200 calories to 2,000 calories overnight. Like that would cause rapid fat gain, and also your metabolism isn't ready for it. So instead, we just add 50 to 100 calories per week. And that's mostly in the form of protein and complex carbs, which will go directly to your muscle and to your energy. You give your body time to adjust and time for your metabolism to speed back up and start operating at full efficiency. And yes, the scale might go up at first. I know that's not what you want to hear, but it's normal. You're adding food, which is adding glycogen to your muscles, and as a result, you retain a little bit of water. But after about 4 to 12 weeks, your metabolism starts responding again. You feel it. Your energy improves. You feel better. And then fat loss can actually happen, but sustainably this time. And you're happier because you're fed and your body's responding better. So if this sounds like you, your first step is to stop restricting and start gradually adding a little bit more food to your daily diet. Okay, let's talk about scenario number 2, which is the unaware eater. And this is a woman who genuinely believes she's not eating that much, but she's actually eating more than she realizes. You eat pretty casually, you don't track or measure your food, you grab whatever's convenient, whether that's takeout or snacks or whatever your family or your kids are eating. And you think to yourself, like, I don't eat that bad, or I don't eat that much. And you're probably right. You're not binging or just eating junk food all day, but the portions, the snacking, the liquid calories, they all add up so much faster than you think. Here's the thing. Most people, and I mean most people, have no idea how much they're actually eating. Studies, in fact, show that people underestimate their calorie intake by 30 to 50%. And that's not because they're lying or in denial. It's because they genuinely do not know. A handful of nuts here, a few bites of your kids' leftovers there, the cream in your coffee, the dressing on your salad, the healthy smoothie that's upwards of 600 calories, sometimes even more. None of these feel like a big deal in the moment when you're consuming them, but by the end of the day, you've eaten way more calories than your body needs in order to maintain or to lose weight. And here's the other piece. Your metabolism has slowed with age. You are losing muscle, and that is the reason why. So the amount of food that you could eat in your 20s and even 30s to maintain your weight, that same amount today in your 40s and older causes you to gain weight. Yay for midlife. You're not doing anything necessarily wrong. Your body just needs less food than it used to, and you haven't adjusted to that. So what do you do if this is you? You just need awareness. First and foremost, you cannot change what you can't see. So what I suggest is you track your food for 1 week, just 1 week, without any judgment, without any restriction, without any changes. Just write down everything that you eat and drink. You can use an app like MyFitnessPal, which is what I use every single day, or even just write it down in a notebook. Measure your portions, weigh your food if you can, because what you think is a tablespoon of peanut butter and what it actually is, totally different and so very sad. But after 1 week, you'll have all the data, and data paints the picture and it tells you the truth. You might realize that you've been eating 2,500 calories when your body only needs 1,800 to maintain the weight and even less to lose. Or you're eating plenty of calories, but you realize you're only eating 60 grams of protein when your body actually needs 130. But once you see that data, once you see the reality, you can make informed adjustments so easily. This is actually what I teach in phase 1 of my behind the body method that I use with all of my clients and myself. See it and create awareness without judgment. So if this sounds like you, your first step is to track your food for 1 week and your beverages. No changes, just observation. Okay, and now scenario number 3, and this used to be me, the all or nothing eater. This is a woman who's either on or off, perfect or completely derailed, no middle ground. Monday through Thursday, you're dialed in, you meal prep, you pack your lunches, you track your foods, you hit your protein, you are crushing it. And then Friday hits, you go out to dinner, you have a few drinks, an appetizer, some dessert, and then you think, well, I already blew it all, so I might as well just keep going through Saturday and Sunday, and then it becomes a free-for-all. And then on Monday, you start to feel guilty, and then you start restricting and pulling calories and not eating that much because you want to make up for that binge weekend. And the cycle repeats week after week, month after month. And here's the problem. Your body doesn't care about your weekly intentions. It responds to the average intake over time. So if you're eating 1,400 calories Monday through Thursday and then 3,000 calories Friday through Sunday, your weekly average is about 2,100 calories a day. And back to the 1,800 calorie scenario, if that's all your body needs to maintain the weight and even less than that to lose it, you're eating well above maintenance. So you're working so super hard, literally 4 days a week, and getting nowhere because the other 3 days are wiping out your progress completely. And this isn't about discipline at all. It's about having an unsustainable approach. Because when you try to be perfect, you set yourself up to fail because there's no such thing as perfection. And trying to be perfect is so exhausting. So the second that you deviate from it, you feel like you failed, and so you just give up completely. So what to do if this is you? I know that this is all hard to digest, but my advice is to stop aiming for perfection and start aiming for 60 to 70% consistency. That is a key word. That means that most days you hit your protein target and eat in a reasonable calorie range. And some days you don't, and that's okay. You plan for the weekend. You budget your calories so you can enjoy dinner or eating out without derailing your entire week. This is very important. You stop labeling foods as good or bad and stop thinking in terms of on or off. Instead, you think in terms of, am I making a choice that moves me closer to my goal or further away? And sometimes, and this is really important, the answer is further away, and that's okay. You make that choice consciously. It's a lifestyle. Enjoy it and move on without guilt or binging on a 3-day spiral. And this is how you build sustainability. This is how you create a lifestyle. And this is how I've maintained my own results for over 8 years. So if this sounds like you, your first step is to aim for 60% consistency this week, not 100. Give yourself permission to be imperfect. So those are the 3 scenarios. And you might be sitting here thinking, Andrea, I think I'm a little bit of all 3. And you're probably right. Many of us are. I know I have been at one point or another. But here's what all 3 scenarios have in common. Lack of awareness. The chronic undereater doesn't realize how little she's actually eating or how much damage she's doing. The unaware eater doesn't realize how much she's actually consuming, and the all or nothing eater doesn't realize her off days are wiping out her on days. But the solution for all three starts with the same first step. See what you're actually doing. Track it, measure it, write it down. You can't change what you can't see. You can't manage what you don't measure. 1 week of tracking, that's it. No judgment, no restriction, just data. Because once you have that awareness, you can make informed decisions that get you closer to your goal. You can see patterns. You can identify what's actually holding you back. And then you can shift it and make so much progress towards your goal. So here's what I want you to do next. I have a free metabolism quiz. What's your metabolism type below? It's only 2 minutes and it'll help you figure out which scenario that you fall in, but it's also going to give you a personalized action plan to start making progress today. The link is in the description and I'll also pin it in the comments. And then just start tracking just for 1 week. Write it down if you don't want to use the app, but see what you're actually eating. No changes yet, just awareness. That's your foundation. And once you have it, everything else becomes so much easier. Because if you don't figure this out, 5 years from now, you will still be confused. You will still be frustrated. You'll still be wondering why you can't lose the weight and just thinking it's because of age. The chronic undereater will keep slowing her metabolism further, suffering through not eating that much. The unaware eater is going to keep gaining weight without understanding why and being so frustrated. And the all or nothing eater is going to keep restarting every Monday for the rest of her life. And you deserve better than that. We all do. We all deserve to actually understand what's happening to our bodies and in our bodies and how eating and our diet and nutrition impact that and have a plan that works for us. Because and I know I always say this in my videos, but just imagine what it would feel like 6 months from now if you started today. You know exactly how much you're eating, you understand your body's patterns, you found your sustainable rhythm. You're not trying to be perfect, but you're consistent. And that's what gets results. You look in the mirror and you see progress and you feel confident and sexy and you feel in control. That's what's possible when you stop guessing and you start knowing. It doesn't matter how old you are. So again, this is episode 4 of the After 40 Body Reset. Next week in episode 5, I am showing you how to build muscle after 40 the simple way. I'm laying out your plan for you because muscle is what changes your metabolism and your body composition. It is the chef's kiss. So make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss it. Take that free quiz below, get a plan, start tracking, and I will see you in the next episode.